Okay, so first step, we're going to go through, stand all the water rollers up. For the older treadmills that don't have the access window here on the side, we're going to go ahead and have to remove the top cover. To remove the cover, you just take the pegs off. Pegs off. You just lift up on here and lift up on the cover. The cover's removed. And then right here is the drain plug. Little rubber plug, you just pull that out. And now we have access to the water. Now this way we can drain it. Supply, I go to the utility closet here, and all the clubs have the same deep sink here. I connect my expandable hose to it. The expandable hose is pretty nice, so that way I get plenty of distance with the hose. At the end of the hose, I have a valve that I put at the end of it with a cut-off hose at the end. That way I can fit inside of the tanks, and I have control of the water. Right, to refill the tank, all you do is you run your hose back into the same place where you were emptying it at. You'll stop right here below the seam. Once it's full enough, you just stop the water here on your valve. And that's it. For materials, we've got a pump, we've got suction hose, we have 50-foot hose for dumping the water outside or into a drain, and then we've got a hose for refilling. On all three of the hoses, I have valves so I can control when the water's flowing, when it's not, and then as well as having a sort hose over here that goes onto both ends. That way I can fit that inside of the tank, so that way there's no spilling. Got an extension cord, so that way I can move the pump around without having to constantly stay next to the wall. While the pump's going, I get the next one ready. I just make sure that the fan blade is out of the way so the hose can go in. The pump runs, the hose suction in right there, and pulls suction all the water out. Runs down and outside. I keep it onto my toolbox so I can just roll the pump down the line with me. Alright, got the pump running until it hits the bottom. Gets all the water. Pull the hose out. And stick it into the next one and snake it down, and then move on to the next. The hose onto the pump on the toolbox, you can move with me, and then hose onto the outside. If the fin's not perfectly straight, then you can just tilt the machine to the side a little bit, so that way you can get it to drain all the way. My pump on top of my toolbox so that way it can roll with me as I move down the line. On the suction side of the pump, I've got a short hose with the end cut off. With the end cut off, it can fit inside of the hole right there, and I can snake it into the tank. That way it gets all the way to the bottom, gets all the water. On the other side of the hose, other side of the pump, I've got a non-kink hose, and I just run that to outside or to a drain, depending on the club. As I get suction, one tank gets empty, I just move down the line, pull out of that tank, stick it into the next one. And while one is draining, I just move to the next one, pull the plug out, and get it ready, get the fan out of the way, so that way it'll be ready for the hose to get in. It's best for the fan blade I don't know if you can see in the video, to be almost at 11 o'clock, so that way the hose has enough space to fit in right here. And it's easy. Once you get it going, all you do is move down the line, move from one to the other, and it'll all just pump outside. Once it's all done, then you just get another hose, connect it to a water spigot, and then refill them all the same way. There's fill lines on the sides of the tanks right here, so you can see where to fill at. When I'm filling the tanks, I just snake it inside. I got a little valve here touching the water on and off, and then I just stop once it hits the fill line. And just move down the line with the hose.